Hi guys, today I want to talk about a concrete example of a person pursuing multiple careers. And here in this video, in part 1, I want to talk a bit about Sanjay Gupta, who is a famous neurosurgeon and at the same time also a news correspondent for CNN. In case you haven't heard about the term multiple careers, then you can find out more in the video that I link above here. For those of you who don't know who Sanjay Gupta is, he's a famous neurosurgeon and I would say an even more famous news correspondent for CNN. I'll play you a short clip from CNN and I'm pretty sure that you will recognize him.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta and I've got this new CNN original series called Chasing Life, where I get to travel all over the world, finding the secrets to living a longer, healthier, and happier life.
I think that Sanjay Gupta's career is really inspiring and interesting. Both being a surgeon as well as being a news correspondent are very intense and high pressured, but he was able to get into both of the careers and manage both careers really well, and by doing that he was able to pursue both of his interests. By the way, the reason that I'm using Sanjay Gupta as an example is because I wanted to look at his career path, analyze it, and be able to learn from it. So it doesn't mean that I endorse any of his personal views, and neither do I want to get into any discussion about his medical opinions or so in this video, because that is not the point of this video. By the way, in case you're new to this channel, I make videos on multiple careers and career change. So if you are someone who's interested in pursuing multiple careers either at once or throughout different stages in your life, then this channel is for you. And if you don't want to miss out on any of my other videos, then make sure that you hit the subscribe button now, and also don't forget to hit the little notification bell so that YouTube will actually notify you when there are new videos from me. What multiple careers is all about, as the name already says, is the possibility to pursue different careers. So that means that at one point in your life you are pursuing more than one career at once, or it can also mean that throughout your whole life, during different stages of your life, you pursue different careers. And of course, there are those kind of people who feel that they are more suited to really just focus on one single thing and pursue that one career path for their entire life. And it's great that such people exist, but then there are other types of people, and perhaps you are one of them, who are just not satisfied to pursue only one career. They have different kinds of interests that they want to pursue, not only as a hobby but in a professional setting. And if you belong to this group of people, then multiple careers is definitely something that you should explore. And I'm not saying that one is preferable to the other, because I think that it really depends on the kind of personality and the kind of goals you have in life. Back on topic. So if we look at Sanjay Gupta's career from an outsider perspective, it might seem as an overnight success. It might seem that he was a surgeon suddenly overnight turned into a celebrity, but that is not the case at all. When I researched his background and his history, I found out that even during med school, during his undergraduate studies, he was already writing for the university newspaper. So it wasn't something that happened out of pure luck. It wasn't the case that suddenly someone just approached him when he was already working as a surgeon and asked him, hey, do you want to come on CNN and be a news correspondent? And it was also not the case that he went over to CNN and consciously applied for it. There were a lot of things going on until he finally got to that point. This following clip will give you an idea of how Sanjay Gupta devotes his time to both of his careers.
Every Monday, for example, I operate. Every other Friday, and I typically see patients in the office on Thursday. So in about two and a half day a week sort of practice. And then, I have the rest of my time is really compartmentalized.
So here we heard that writing has always been a passion of his, and he had always been writing since he was in school, in undergrad school. And because of his solid knowledge in medicine and also his sophisticated level in writing, he got to a point where his article got published in The Economist. Among others, he also wrote articles which discussed about medical care in the United States and other countries, and these articles eventually got read by Bill Clinton. So here we can see that it wasn't something that happened overnight at all, but the fact was that he was working on his career as a surgeon as well as a writer for many years. And then at one point in time, during Bill Clinton's second term in the office, Sanjay Gupta got a fellowship, and he got the opportunity to work as special advisor advisor to Hillary Clinton, and one of his jobs here was to write speeches on medical and healthcare issues. And finally, as a fellow at the White House, he got the opportunity to meet the CEO of CNN, and the CEO actually invited him to be a member of the medical news team on CNN, and that is how he first got a job there. But the point here is that even for a person like Sanjay Gupta, in order to become a surgeon slash news correspondent, it wasn't something that happened all of a sudden, and it wasn't something that was 100% planned either. But the reason that he is where he is and he's doing all the things that he truly enjoys, at least I would think that that's the case, because for years and years he's been paying really close attention to what he is interested in and also what he's skilled at. And because he's been working on these two streams, I would say, really hard, it eventually led him to a point where he found himself faced with a lot of great opportunities that he was willing to take. By the way, if you like this video, then please let me know by giving it a thumbs up, and also let me know in the comments what you think of this. Of course, there's the argument of focus, meaning that if a person, for example, a writer, focuses on his or her writing career for the entire life, then of course chances are that this person will become very specialized and an expert in their field. But I would also argue that not all people are wired that way. There are just people who are interested in different things and they do not want to do one single thing for their entire life. Let's take for example Leonardo da Vinci. Everyone knows that he was the painter of the very famous painting Mona Lisa, but at the same time he was also an inventor. He created, for example, a flying machine. He was very accomplished in both arts and sciences, and it was said of him that he feels that his knowledge of science positively influenced his art. So now you might say that this case of Sanjay Gupta is just an anomaly. Not all people are as lucky or as genius as him and are able to afford to have multiple careers. Of course, this is a very high-profile example, but multiple careers are possible at all sorts of levels. Just to name two examples, there are people who are pursuing their career as a yoga teacher as well as a children's book author, or there are people who are cafe managing partner slash marketing manager at a big corporation. There are three important takeaways from the story of Sanjay Gupta, something that you can also apply in developing your own multiple careers. Number one is that synergy can happen between different skill sets. He was very knowledgeable and also experienced as a neurosurgeon, and that knowledge and that background was what enabled him to be able to create and write really good content as a medical news correspondent, because his knowledge was much deeper. It was not only at a surface level. Number two is that synergy is also created by pursuing the different things that you really love and that you are highly interested in. Sanjay Gupta pursued his career as a neurosurgeon, which he really loved, but at the same time he also worked professionally on his other passion as a writer and as a news correspondent. And I think that if you work on the things that you are really interested about, that you are passionate about, that creates this kind of energy, this high energy level that rubs off on all the other things that you do. On the contrary, if you know that you are really interested in two things, but you've decided to only pursue one, but you know you can't really let go of the other, so this other thing you're not pursuing, but it's still in the back of your head and it's really bothering you, that in turn can create a negative effect. That can sometimes create a demotivating effect, because you're doing one thing, you're pursuing one career path, but in the back of your mind you know that actually I really want to do this other thing also. So I think that there's a really good case of pursuing more than one thing professionally. It doesn't mean that you will be successful at the same level in both careers, but if you eventually want to get to that point, then you have to start somewhere, right? And the third takeaway is that having multiple careers at the same time concurrently is doable. I can imagine that Sanjay Gupta's work as a neurosurgeon is really high pressure, and also his job as CNN news correspondent must be really demanding, but nevertheless he was able to manage both. So if he's able to have multiple careers, which consists of careers that are very high pressure and very demanding, then it is even more possible to pursue other kind of careers which are less demanding. Of course, I'm not saying that it works for any career. For example, if you work as an astronaut at NASA, then it is very likely that you will only be able to pursue that one career at one time, and not, for example, at the side being a marketing manager at another company as well. So the way that you can make this work for you is that you have to put some thought into what kind of careers are reasonably combinable. And also, if you realize the fact that you are interested in, let's say, these two careers, how are you going to limit the scope? Meaning, how much time will you spend on each, and how will you be able to prioritize one over the other? In Sanjay Gupta's case, being a neurosurgeon, naturally he would always prioritize the surgeries over the newscasting. The core message of multiple careers, I would say, is to try to look at careers in a different way, not in a traditional way where you have to follow this one set career path with these fixed stages, but be aware of the fact and make use of the opportunities that exist nowadays, that you are able to shape your career more individually. You are able to customize it in a way that can suit your life and your personal goals instead of the other way around. But in order to do that, it really requires a change of mindset, of how you look at a career and what you expect from a career in terms of perhaps positions, status, and also income. And the other important thing is also time management. You really have to be on top of the game when it comes to time management, because if not, then you will not be able to pursue multiple careers. As always, I thank you so much for watching. All the best, and I hope to catch you again soon.